such as Risk, Toll, and the Liar Show. Please give a warm welcome to Elicia Berger.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us and thanks for having me, Panina. I am going to tell you a story about the winter after I turned 9 years old, and my mom brought me downtown to the Macy's, the big shiny Macy's department store. This was not a regular occurrence. I was very excited, and it was really special because it was around Christmas time. And I was a really shy little girl, but also very curious. And so I would unlatch myself from my mom's side and wander a little bit into the gift wrapping room. And you would think that I'd, go to the toy section or something like that, but I was always attracted to the gift wrapping room, and I would watch these middle-aged women bend over the counters, pulling like the rolls of paper from the wall and ripping them real quickly on the razor. They would have, the box size in front of them. They would know exactly how much paper to use to wrap that box. It was a small, dingy room right next to the bathrooms, and like the carpets were spotted with God knows what, probably pee and other things. And despite all of that, I stayed in there, kind of in the corner, just watching these women work and thinking, like, oh my gosh, they have the coolest job in the world. And so basically, it's kind of funny that I liked Christmas so much because I'm Jewish, and my brother used to make fun of me saying, like, Elicia, you're adopted. And it would make me really upset, except for the one fact that I thought that maybe that might be really cool, because it would mean that just maybe I would be of a religion that celebrated Christmas and not Jewish. And so, but there was no mistaking. I mean, I've got my dad's smile, my dad's knees, I've got my mom's eyes and my mom's coloring. But I thought, like, that would be kind of cool. And so I wasn't as hard on my brother when he said that I might be adopted. So so my mom actually grew up. She's Vietnamese, and she grew up a little bit Buddhist, a little bit Catholic, but her parents weren't very religious. And so after she married my dad, she decided that she wanted to convert to Judaism, and she wanted me and my brother to grow up Jewish. And so it was just in time for me and my brother to go to Hebrew school, kicking and screaming, to have a bar and bat mitzvah. We actually got confirmed after that, which is like when you're 15, 16, just like a bar and bat mitzvah, but you don't have the cool party. And then we were both, big active members of our youth groups, and I was actually president of mine. So I was, despite the Vietnamese Buddhist Catholic blood, I was like an uber Jew. And despite all of that, I absolutely loved everything about Christmas. I loved the tree, I loved the presents, the little calendars where you got to open up all the little windows every day. I would just kind of force my way into my friends, my Christmas celebrating friends' houses, and just always, were so jealous, but had a good time with them. But the thing was, I never knew exactly what happened, after I stayed there for Christmas Eve. And I would go home, and somewhere Santa was traveling to their house, and I didn't exactly know what was happening, but I felt, sad to be left out of that part. And one, that very same trip that I went to Macy's with my mom, I saw, the line of kids there with wearing their best Christmas outfits, the red velvet dresses and the green, curly bows in their hair. And I asked my mom, can I go see Santa? And to be honest, I wasn't really even sure if I believed in Santa. You know, like I went to public school, so kids talk, and but I wanted to see him, you know. And so she said, you know, no, Elicia, we can't go right now. I'm really busy. We've got a lot of stuff to get done today. And what I really knew, you know, in my head and in my heart was, you know, it's not that we can't go see Santa right now. It's just that we don't see Santa ever. And, you know, I sadly, you know, resigned myself to the fact and kind of skulked on by. And I was sad that I felt like I was missing that kind of opportunity for a dream. So, anyway, so, you know, one of the, like I said, one of the best things I liked about the holidays was the gift wrapping. And it was not only that trip to Macy's, but previously I had been interested in gift wrapping. And during that trip, I asked my mom if we could get some extra boxes that I could bring home so I could practice wrapping on them. And I was so obsessed with it, you know, like that my parents made me the manager of our home's gift wrapping center so that I would feel like I had a very important job to do. And so I was in charge of, you know, the bows and the ribbons and the paper, the tissue paper, and everything. And this was in our upstairs closet. And I would like bring it out like I was running a store. And every time that my parents had something to wrap, they would commission it to me, and I would explain to them, you know, like the vision that I had for this gift. and so I said, you know, this is what I see for this gift, and I'm going to do it this way. And they gave me free creative reign. And so that's when I decided that, you know, I was going to be a gift wrapper when I grew up. And clearly that was when my aspirations of becoming a starving artist came about. Basically, after that, you know, my jealousy of Christmas continued, and though I had some kind of speculations about what I really thought was going on with Santa, you know, like he didn't come in through the chimney, I knew that. I figured like the parents gave him a backdoor house key and that's how he got in. There was no way somebody was coming through the chimney. And, you know, like with the cookies on the table, I was like, there's no way Santa can eat all those cookies. Like, he's gonna get sick, you know? My parents, you know, I challenged my parents on that one year, and I was like, I'm gonna eat as many cookies as I can, just as many as Santa, and I'm gonna show you that I can still work like Santa. And I got really sick. That didn't work. So I knew Santa couldn't eat all those cookies. And, you know, just like I was thinking, like, if Elijah went all over on Passover and drank all that wine, he'd be too drunk to work, just like Santa, too sick to do his work. So when I started thinking about it, you know, Hanukkah Harry, I knew that he was made up. You know, the Hanukkah bush and the Hanukkah Harry was made up, and it was just because people didn't want Jewish kids to feel left out. And then I started thinking about it a little more, and I was like, you know, this is not so bad. I get to go to my friends' houses for Christmas, and then I get home and I get to have Hanukkah with my family. And my parents, you know, I would give them a list of things that I wanted. I never got, you know, ugly socks or chapstick. I would never have to worry about getting coal in my stocking. My parents, you know, saw how I behaved on a daily basis. They didn't have to report to a third party in the North Pole to tell them how I was behaving. And I actually thought I had it pretty good. And so one of the best parts I thought about Hanukkah and about the gifts on that occasion was that I actually got to wrap some of my own gifts, and that I thought was awesome. And you know, it was even though I knew what some of the gifts were going to be, it was still exciting because my parents would hide them around the house, and my brother and I would find them each of the 8 nights. And to me, that was, you know, the surprise in trying to figure out where they were. So as we sat on the floor, me and my brother and him, you know, tearing open his present, and me very, very carefully at the seams, you know, peeling the tape away so I could save the paper, maybe for someone else's gift. I realized that, you know, inside, what I was getting, the gift inside was always going to be love. Thank you.